What's up, YouTube? I don't know. What's going on? This is Metagame Minute. I'm Nick Murphy. I'm one half of the brothers Murph. Today I want to talk about games that you would really, really like, but you don't get because you know it'll never, ever get to the table. Because that's kind of like a crappy part of gaming, where you're like, man, I would love this, but I'm not going to get it because I won't get it at the table. Or maybe you do get it, and then maybe you kind of regret getting it because you never get to the table. That's definitely happened to us, where we've gotten games knowing they're really good games, knowing that we love them, but ultimately, if I can go back, I would not get it because we never play them. Usually because of player count for me and Mike. If it's like a 3-player game, and the third person we have isn't really into that kind of games, it'll never get played. Case in point is Blood Rage. We have Blood Rage. I really like the game. Mike really likes the game, but we never get to play that game because we never have a third person who likes that kind of game. So, but that's not even talking about that, because we ended up buying Blood Rage. I'm talking about games where you get a little more learned, and you're like, I'm going to like this game, I'm never going to play it. A recent game like this for me was Gloom Haven. Gloom Haven, the first Kickstarter came out a couple years ago, and I was just like, man, this looks amazing. It's like dungeon crawl, looks super innovative and cool, and all these really cool creatures and monsters. It's co-op. I love these kind of games. And for whatever reason, I couldn't pull the trigger. I was just like, and that was weird. I was a little more naive back then, so I'm kind of surprised I didn't. But I think I was starting to understand that. I was like, oh, we'll never play this game. This game would be really fun, and we'll never, ever play it. And then Gloomhaven came out in the giant, massive box, and everyone's like, oh, how big this box is, and everyone's just raving about it. It's climbing the ranks of Board Game Geek. I think it's in the top 10 now, maybe even the top 5 at this point. I'm not even sure. But, like, just everyone's giving it 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and then the second print run happened. And all this is on Kickstarter again, it's the second print run. And I'm like, I should back it, because this game is going to be amazing. I'm going to love it. And I still didn't back it. I still didn't back it. You know what? I don't regret it, because I just know I'll never play that game. And I don't really know why. Because we have Seventh Continent, as you know, if you've seen any of our Best of the Weeks, where we mentioned it like 3 times. And that's like a big, long campaign game. For some reason, Seventh Continent would get to the table. Gloomhaven wouldn't. I'm not entirely sure why. There's other kinds of games. I really like one versus all games. I think they're fun. I think it's a really interesting mechanic to have a kind of co-op game, but then you have kind of like an overlord, kind of a D&D type thing, Dungeon Master. And we have a couple one versus all games. We have Conan, and then we also have the others. And there's other games like Imperial Salt or Descent or all these other kind of one versus all games, and I'm always like, man, I would really, really like those games, but I'm not ever going to get them because they'll never get played, because the others in Conan never get played, mostly because we don't have the player count. And so like we could play just me versus Mike, which we have, but it's like we just know we don't have the player count for them, so I'm just never going to get those kind of games, because unless we get like a really, really dedicated game group who really likes those kind of games, there's just no point in us having them. I would like to know some of your games that maybe you've gotten burned on because you've gotten it and then you realize it'll never ever get to the table, or something you've realized beforehand that, oh, I would really like to get this game, but I'm not going to because it'll never get to the table. So maybe, hopefully, one of your friends gets it, so then you don't have to be the one that has it, and then maybe you can play it with them. So that is all for me. My name is Nick Murphy. Please check us out on all forms of social media. Check out our podcast with Dan Hughes, Dave Luza, and Matthew Jude. The new episode dropped yesterday. Episode 4. We're 4 episodes in. That's crazy. And it's going really, really well. We're super pumped. Also, check out the Jack Vasel Memorial Fund. Tom Vasel over the Dice Tower puts on an auction for his foundation, the Jack Vasel Memorial Fund, which helps out gamers in need of a crisis, in need because they're in some kind of crisis, whether it's some kind of natural disaster like a hurricane, or maybe their house burns down, or they have some kind of medical bills or something like that. The Jack Vasel Memorial Fund will come in and help out with funds for gamers in need. It's a really, really great auction. I put in some of my artwork, a Star Wars piece in there that you can bid on, so please go check it out. There'll be a link for it down in the video description below. So please go check that out. Bid on if you want. Bid on, there's like 200 things as of right now on there. Check it out, bid on some stuff, get some cool stuff, and help out a really great cause. So until next week, if you wised up and didn't make that purchase, or if you did, now you're playing a one versus all game versus you and your dog, remember, when it comes to gaming, the more meta, the more better.